Hello and welcome to Nursing 316. This is Dr. Soon Green, and I wanted to give you an overview of this course, and I'm excited to be working it with you. Halo has your weekly topics, and do refer to your student course guide on the CON HCP resources page under the Nursing 316 section. People ask me all the time, how do I study? How do I study? And what you'll hear from a lot of nursing faculty is read the textbook. You may have always used the PowerPoints and just studied those or just listened. And it's a little more depth now that you're in an upper level of college experience, and definitely because you're in a nursing program. The student course guide gives you an outline of the topic, but more importantly, to me anyway, it gives you the reading pages to read and what not to read. I put what not to read in red, so that will help, I hope, somewhat. We have a textbook that encompasses everything, including advanced practice. It has pediatrics and it has pregnancies and things like that. So sometimes it gets a little confusing. That's why I specify what specifically to look at. Also, look at that resource page for the PowerPoints and recordings and other activities like that. I will be holding weekly sessions that'll be an opportunity for you to bring your questions to the class and have questions about the topic, questions about assignments, questions in general about Nursing 316. It is an optional session and it'll have an activity such as practice questions or Kahoot or something like that, or discussion about an assignment that would be upcoming. Like week 2, it tends to be about that spirituality paper. Also refer to the topic announcements for any time and date. I find because of lab and clinical aspects, I can't always set a specific time and date, or that about halfway through the semester it seems to change. And so we need to be flexible with that. Explore more, as you'll see on your SharePoint calendar at particular times and dates. There's usually about 4, usually about a week before an exam. It's a time to ask questions again and test yourself in an activity to see how you're doing in preparation for the exam. Do, again, refer to that SharePoint calendar for that. Now, speaking of Nursing 316 assignments, do note that it is part of the university policy that there can be a 10% deduction per day for late assignments or posts. And that can add up points quickly in terms of deducting points. I tend to, the first time, I make note of it and give you grace, but multiple times of being late, I'm applying the late assignment calculator to deduct the points. I find that it holds you more accountable. It helps you with your organization with that. If you do have a legitimate delay, please send me a Halo message so that I can work with you. And oh yes, if it's 12:01 a.m., yes, it is not late. Oh my, I've been talking a lot. Discussion questions are up to 2.5 Halo points each. There are 2 preset in Halo each week, and so they're there. Sometimes I've add things. They're called classroom assessment techniques that I'll put a post that you can respond to as part of participation with that. You do still need your references for that. And since it would be a participation reference type aspect, it'd need to be a nursing journal or your course textbook Sometimes, yes, the Nursing 300 textbooks apply. I understand that, and that's acceptable too. Do review intently that rubric found under the CON HCP resource page, under the ABSN general resources. Do use professional language, avoid flowery language, and meet the word count with that. Use APA, in-text, and reference citations along with this. Now, participation points. Those are the ones you must have a nursing journal reference. Once again, use professional language. It has a separate rubric than the initial post sections, your 2.5 DQ, 2.5 point DQ questions. And avoid the flowery, oh, it was a wonderful post. You know, cut the drama. That we bring it down a notch. Tell them what that you liked about the post. What was most meaningful to you? We want to praise people. But don't make it so flowery. I start counting the words after you've got through the, oh, you were wonderful type thing. All right. Do meet word counts. Word counts both for that initial post and for this participation point. And you must have a journal article for the participation point ones. Now, participation, more on it. It's best to do 3 posts, 3 days of posts, 2 posts that a day. Basically, you need 6 posts for the week. How the points are applied then according to the rubric. With that, I do mark the post non-substantive if it doesn't have correct APA. So you have to be careful of those fine details. I do suggest you look at my announcement on hints and APA citations. It has APA resources that you can use to help improve your APA work. You also have points for your EAQs and any SharePath activity or other activity I would designate for you. When I have assigned basically every week a SharePath lesson or osmosis video. The lessons have questions, and I want you to have an 82% benchmark on those to get the points. Those are repeatable lessons, so you find out the rationale, you go back and work the questions again to have it sink in further. I find students spent more time with that than they were their EAQs, and once I started saying, we need to work a lesson here, I found that students had better grades and less of them were having difficulty with the course with that. Okay, don't rerun your initial post for that. Now, topic 2 and 3 have directions for a spirituality paper. 2 is kind of your preview to make sure you started writing or started researching at least, so they're not doing something at the last minute. Things start to snowball. Each week I give you some key terms as options to learn. Basically, you do need to learn the terms so that you'll be able to apply them to the questions along the way. Especially starting with topic 4, it seems. But if you need those foundation of the first 3. And so back to the spirituality paper. Week 3 is the one where the upload is. So you have to wait till week 3 for that box to open, basically. But you do have the directions for the assignment ahead of time. APA format and style is required. A Word document, double space, title page, reference page, the works, but not a PDF. Lab sometimes wants something in a PDF form, but otherwise, if you're turning it in to me or another online instructor, make it a Word document unless they specify otherwise. Exams. There are 350-question exams. There are 100 points each. That's Halo points. And then there's one 100-question final exam. Yeah, it takes a long time to do that. For 200 Halo points. In all, you need 380 Halo points to earn that 76% average by the end of the course. Now these are pretty easy to figure out what the percentage is since they're 100 points each. But it's basically, if it isn't this cut and dried as one question is 2 points, it's still, we're looking at the Halo points based on this raw score to give you Halo points for this. So you need 380 Halo points at the end of the course to pass the course. The questions are multiple choice, select all that apply, which I like to do Kahoots for practice sections, and sometimes I use a lot of select all that apply to get going with that. And your course will have math questions on those exams. At least two math questions for the exams for this course. And with that, your site proctor will give you a specific paper for you to work your math on, and you do need to set up your math problem, work your math problem, and put the answer on that paper, or it's counted wrong. Now, the answer we count is the one that it will input into the computer for the exam. Because if you have a transcription problem, that is an error. And we can't have errors in nursing. We may make them, but we try to practice not having errors. So you need to work the problem on paper, show the answer, and transcribe it correctly into the fill in the blank, just the numbers only, for the math answer on your test. How do I know how many questions and how many math questions and how many for this objective and that? Well, that goes back to those exam blueprints that found on the resources page.